Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, February the 18th, 2023. And you can see behind me is the state capitol here in Baton Rouge. Today, I'm going to be showcasing a different type of walk. I had promised when I started this YouTube channel that from time to time I would feature some multi-purpose trails that are handicap accessible. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm about to get on the Baton Rouge section of the Mississippi River Levee Trail. It is paved for about 12 miles, which starts downtown, just a few blocks away from here. And it's going to lead south to the Rouge-L'Auberge Casino and Hotel, just a few blocks away from the start of the trail. And I'm going to go ahead and point it out to you when I get started. Okay, I made it to the start of the trail. You can see how the sidewalk just kind of curves back down, and you can see the early views. Very clear shot of the river. I'm going to show you a few things as I go along, particularly in the downtown area. And it's not going to be clear all the way down the L'Auberge, but we'll still be able to get a lot of good views today. So about the Mississippi River Levee Trail, much of the southern part of Louisiana has developed the Mississippi River Levee, particularly on the East Bank side, the side that I'm on today, for recreational usage. And there's only a few parts that I do not think are open yet for the public to be able to get on, but most of it is. This section I'm going to do today is paved, like I mentioned earlier, and then there's paved sections as you get closer to New Orleans, and if you continue following southbound, it ends all the way at Audubon Park in New Orleans. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this 12-mile section today, but it should be a very interesting walk. It's a couple blocks down. We're at the River Center, and you can see that this is the Riverfront Plaza, and a nice walkway out over the river. I'm gonna take a walk down there real quick and show it to you. All right, you can see downtown Baton Rouge. Zoom in. State Capitol. And nice way to come out right over the mighty Mississippi and get some views. Of course, right there is the famous I-10 bridge that goes across the river that connects Baton Rouge to Lafayette. And another really cool attraction a lot of people like to come check out, they actually have tours for them, is the USS Kidd. It was a naval ship that actually was used during World War II. All right, the actual true bike path of this starts. You can see right here, you have the two lanes for the bicyclist, and I'm going to stay on the left side here. This is the shoulder for the walkers. Actually, I'm at the South Boulevard Trail on the other side of the bridge. You can see behind me where you can enter. There's several of these, so for those who want to come out and ride their bike, or if you have someone that's handicapped and you want to be able to get them out up on the levee, I'll point these out to you, but there are several along the way. I'm over at the corner of River Street and Water Street. Pops you off the levee temporarily, but I wanted to point out, for those of you that just want to come out here and ride, you can rent a bicycle. And we're going to continue on straight here for a few more seconds and then pop back up on the levee. You can see just from where I came from, this is the actual Skip Burtman trailhead of the Mississippi River Levee Trail, and straight ahead down here is the athletic facilities for the Baton Rouge campus of LSU. About 2.5 miles in, and I'm going to go ahead and keep on going in this direction. So I just wanted to point out, after I passed under the I-10 bridge, it was basically an industrial area for the first couple of miles. And then we have the Baton Rouge campus of LSU is the next section. So we're gonna start getting into a little bit more of a rural section. I think I can see straight ahead some neighborhoods, but we're gonna get out of the more urbanized area of this levee trail for a little while, and I'll show you a little bit more as I keep going. You can see the picture I just took of the Far Park Equestrian Center. This is actually also a trailhead. You can see right down there, one entrance to the levee, and then this is the other one. So we're about 4 miles into this hike today with about 8 to go. Halfway done already. It's a little after 9:30, starting around 7, so I'm making good time. And so I'm about 6 miles away from Rouge-L'Auberge. It's been very quiet overall this morning. Passed a few people earlier in between LSU and the Far Park Equestrian Center. Not too many people on the levee this morning. Of course, it is on the chilly side, and there's a Mardi Gras parade going on downtown, so that might explain some of that. But definitely a very nice walk so far. And it's really kind of hard to believe that we're just outside of Baton Rouge. I'll just go ahead and turn this way. Baton Rouge is kind of like behind me in that direction, but it got very rural, like I said earlier. Once we got past LSU, I mean, it just got very, very, very rural. A lot of greenery, lots of pastures, get a lot of views of the livestock out here. And one thing I did want to point out too, though, is that you can see that the walkway area, that shoulder, stopped right past LSU. So this be cognizant. I think one time I had to step over to the side for some bike riders, but basically that ended. And also too, there were several benches in the downtown area, and then there were some when you passed LSU, but then it stopped. So there's not really any places I can see at this point where you can sit down. So if you really do want to stop and take a break and have a seat on a bench, you really need to do it over towards LSU, because after that it's pretty much just sitting down on the grass. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started back up here in a minute and start showing you some more stuff. I just want to point out to you, I just walked through this gate right here. You don't have to walk across this stuff. So we're about 8.5 miles into the trail, so about 3.5 miles left to get to L'Auberge. About 1.5 miles before you get to L'Auberge. This is the Ben-Hur Road trailhead, and this should be the last one before you get to L'Auberge. As you just saw, approaching L'Auberge. Should be there in about another 10 to 15 minutes. So I wanted to point out a few things before I get to the end of this walk. First of all, for those that you want to bring out that are handicapped, I would suggest that you stick to the downtown area and near LSU, because there was benches, there was a little bit of water. Not sure how often those water fountains work. It looked like a couple of them did and a few of them didn't, but you're near civilization, so you can just go a little ways, turn around and come back. Also, for just getting on this levee, that Ben-Hur trailhead was the first one that I saw in several miles. So it looks like for accessibility, your options really go from downtown down to the Far Park Equestrian Center, and then several miles later. Another thing is that at about the 7.5 mile mark, the views of the river weren't as clear, because what happens is the river bends to the east, and when it bent to the east at that 7.5 mile marker, the trail ended up getting further from the levee, about a few hundred yards. Now, in a couple of video slides a minute ago, I showed a couple of nice views. We did get a little closer in, but this whole section has been very quiet. It's been very nice. It's very rural. So what's really cool about it, when you do hike the whole 12.5 miles, that it is a combination of that urban experience, being downtown, checking out a lot of points of view, and then you get out in the country. So a little less than a mile away from L'Auberge, and I'll wrap this video up when I get over there. You can see that was the last trailhead right near L'Auberge, and I am now approaching the entrance. I'm gonna go inside for a second and come back and wrap this up. I just wanted to come walk out on the other side of L'Auberge and I'm going to turn this way, and you can see that the levee is now back to a natural surface right here. And from what I was told, it is technically still a trail that's open for outdoor recreation about another 6 to 8 miles. So after today, I'm interested maybe coming back out here. I actually enjoy levee walking. Even though it is asphalt all the way, it is a good test if you're looking to do some long distance hikes to see how your body holds up on pavement. And for the most part, I did pretty good today. So I hope you enjoyed watching this particular video, and I will see you again soon on another Louisiana trail.